Judge Napolitano is always ready, and Judge, you're working overtime. I mean, we're tapping into everything you've ever learned about law.
Just about, Brian.
And first off, the battle to get an attorney general is front and center. But first things first, we just did get a tweet from Donald Trump in regards to Judge Gorsuch, who's the nominee to be the next Supreme Court justice, coming out and speaking. Senator Richard Blumenthal came out and talked about what Gorsuch told him about Donald Trump's disappointment in the 9th District Court.
So Donald Trump just tweeted out, Senator Richard Blumenthal, who never fought in Vietnam when he said for years he had, major lie, now misrepresents what Judge Gorsuch told him. In talking yesterday in a private meeting with Neil Gorsuch, apparently, it's a private meeting. So Senator Blumenthal comes out and says the judge said he was disheartened and demoralized by this abhorrent comment. Then the person who was escorting Judge Gorsuch around said he never said abhorrent. So, he misquoted him.
Abhorrent, of course, is a horrific word, meaning
and he never used it.
Hateful, and it obviously was what Senator Blumenthal ascribed to what he heard. So a couple of questions here. Are there judges who are disheartened by what the president said? Yeah, they feel that maybe he is so angry at the inappropriate intervention with his regulation of foreign affairs that he should be reminded that the judiciary is an equal branch. Did Judge Gorsuch say this? Well, this is Senator Blumenthal's summary. Is this conversation between Judge Gorsuch, this is an interesting question, and each senator private, or can it be revealed to the public?
That's the first thing I asked you in the hall. I said, do you think
I don't know what the answer to that is, Brian, except to say that senators, like Senator Blumenthal, will reveal what they think will help themselves politically.
Sure.
He obviously is not a fan of Donald Trump and not a fan of Judge Gorsuch, and might want to do what he can to drive a wedge between them. I have defended the president's criticism of these judges because their questions, both the trial judge, Judge Robart, and the 3 appellate judges, were political questions. They all said,
exactly,
what studies did he rely on to choose the 7 countries? That is an irrelevant question. Their job is not to second-guess him, not to decide if he was smart or prudent, but just to determine if his behavior was constitutional and lawful. My late, great friend Justice Scalia had a sign on his desk which said 3 words, stupid but constitutional, meaning I don't care about the wisdom of the government's choices, and the court doesn't care. It only cares about the constitutionality. Is Donald Trump's order constitutional? It is so crystal clear that it is. The statute that he read to the police chiefs yesterday is exactly right on point.
So Judge Sessions was just confirmed yesterday.
It's about time. Now we have a Justice Department that's no longer rogue.
What will the DOJ look like?
Well, I think it's going to be much more of a down-the-line law and order DOJ than the politicized one that we had under President Obama, because Donald Trump has promised that, and the Jeff Sessions that I know, and I've known him for 12 or 13 years, is that type of person. I might not agree with everything Attorney General Sessions is going to do, excuse me, but it's going to be a far more traditional law and order-oriented Justice Department, which means FBI and all the other instruments that belong to the Justice Department.
Judge, do you think that the turbulence he put to, and all the consternation we received and watched to leading to his nomination, leading to his confirmation, will that affect anything that he does or anything that his Justice Department does?
I hope not, because the Jeff Sessions that I know is not the person that was profoundly misrepresented by the Democrats, particularly my very good friend Cory Booker, who I've known for 20 years, and Senator Warren from Massachusetts. They grossly misrepresented Senator Sessions on the very difficult issue of race.
People on the political left are attacking Donald Trump because he said, hey, look, you can't attack the court system. Historically, presidents have taken shots at the other branches of government, over at Congress and at the courts.
Look, when the Supreme Court once ruled that the Second National Bank of the United States was lawful and the government had to put its money in there, and Andrew Jackson, the president, didn't want to do it, Chief Justice was John Marshall. He famously said, John Marshall has made his ruling, now let him go enforce it. Not suggesting that presidents should be lawless, but the tradition of presidents criticizing courts is
It's
as old,
nothing new.
is as old as the
And
century.
Teddy Roosevelt, too, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Judge, thank you very much.
Oh, you're
Thank you,
welcome,
Judge.
We have a shovel over at the studio door. Can you help out?
I think Janice already has it.